Hi there, my name is Marley and welcome to this video. I hope you guys are doing great today. In this video, I'm going to be doing a reading vlog where I attempt to read The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra, Clare, and Wesley Chu, which came out recently and is the second book in the Eldest Curses series starring Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I have been enjoying doing reading vlogs lately, so I just thought I would do a vlog of the book that I planned on reading this week. Not sure how this is going to go, but I am hoping to read this in a week. So I actually did start the vlog already, but I wanted to pop in here and do an intro. I'm going to be including my thoughts on this book while also taking you through some of the other things going on in my life. So hopefully you enjoy vlogs like that. For example, I changed my nose ring from a stud to a ring, so you can get a glimpse at my struggle with that. I can't get it. But mainly I'm going to be updating you on my thoughts of The Lost Book of the White, and I'm going to be as non-spoilery as I can up until a certain point, and then I will be doing spoilers and just talking about my thoughts about everything that happens in the book. So the plot of this book doesn't sound too crazy. It basically takes place after the Mortal Instruments, where Magnus and Alec already have adopted their son Max, and they're living a pretty content life other than the fact that Magnus is glowing for some reason. Yes, he was stabbed with a magical weapon, so he's glowing. But basically the Book of the White gets stolen and they just have to go on a sort of quest to get it back. Magnus and Alec, along with Jace, Clary, Simon, and Isabel, and they have to fight demons and stuff like that. So let's see how I enjoy this book. I love a new book smell. We are going to be trying to take my nose ring out for the first time, and we are going to be replacing it with one of these ones that I got. I got two different sizes because I don't know what size my nose ring is. So we are going to see what size it is, if either of them will fit. Hopefully at least one of them will fit. I'm really nervous about taking this out. Oh my gosh. So grab both ends. Oh my god. I can't do it. That hurt. Ow, that really hurt. Okay, I'm holding. I think it needs. Holy. I can't get it. Like what? I can't get a grip on it. I think this is impossible. Good to know it's in there securely. Jesus. Oh my gosh, so I got it. Ah. Okay, now what do I do? So they gave me this wipe, so I guess I'll wipe it. We're gonna start with the bigger one because this I think might not fit. I had to turn the camera off, yo, like that was so frustrating. Okay, so I watched videos. We have to put it in to find the hole in my nose. Oh my god. And I think this is the most it will go. We got it in. Do you guys like it? Well, this size fit. This size definitely fit me. I think I just need to adjust to having a ring in. Hello, update. So I have started reading the book. As you can see, I changed the cover. If you guys got this book, you know it came with two different covers. Like you can put the dust jacket either way. So I actually preferred this way, which has the original cover design that matches the first one. It's just kind of annoying because it's not folded properly. But yeah, I switched it. I think, like, I don't know, I just think it's cute the way like Magnus and Alec are designed here as little cartoons. Anyways, how far did I get last night? I'm on chapter 5, so not very far, but thought I would check in. These books are definitely not as good as like the main series that are just by Cassandra Clare. No offense to Wesley Chu. he seems great, but you can just tell that like it's not the same as reading an actual Shadowhunters book like from one of the main series. That's my opinion anyways. Still enjoyable, still nice to be reading a fantasy because I have not been reading that many fantasies this year. But yeah, the plot is basically what I said. Everything's all nice. It's been kind of quiet for the Shadowhunters for a few months after City of Heavenly Fire, and then Xinyoung, I think is her name, shows up, and she was in the first Eldest Curses book, so she's obviously going to be like a villain type character throughout, and shows up with another famous character. I'm not sure when I should insert spoilers, maybe just now. So Ragnar Fell shows up. So first we get a prologue where we see the moment that happened in City of Glass where Magnus finds out Ragnar Fell is going to fake his death, and then we see Ragnar Fell is working with Xinyoung and they're like doing some evil stuff together. So this is obviously the in-between when Ragnar Fell disappeared and when we see him in the Dark Artifices. So that's definitely interesting to see more of him. But yeah, they show up, they stab Magnus, so some weird stuff is going on with Magnus. They steal the Book of the White. So all of our main characters have gone to China, specifically Shanghai, and they are trying to track Ragnar and try and get the book back. So I like that we are in a new place. That's definitely what this series is doing, because last time we were in Europe in the first book and we got to see sort of the Shadowhunter scene over there, and now we're obviously getting to see the Shadowhunter scene in Asia in this book. That is like a fun little thing because we mainly just see the US or the UK in her main books, so that is fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Institute is like in China. And yeah, I think that's my main update. It's not really making me want to read non-stop so far, but we have a long way to go, so I'm sure it will get more exciting as I go on. Hey, so I'm reading proof, and Xinyan just showed up to see Magnus. He's alone because all the Shadowhunters left him. How convenient. And she shows up and he just goes to breakfast with her. Meanwhile, how many times has she betrayed them at this point in the series? And she literally stabbed him with a Sven's thorn. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sven's thorn. And you're just chilling with her having breakfast, and then she stabs him again with it. And Clare even had a dream that prophetized him being stabbed again, and he just like is hanging out with her and lets her basically stab him again. I'm just like, that's kind of dumb. And that's what I'm talking about before, about these not really feeling as much like the main series of Shadowhunter books. Like, would Magnus actually be that dumb? And would all the characters actually leave a Magnus like that when he's been hurt? Like, I'm just sort of skeptical about what's going on here. I think it's kind of dumb. Stay tuned. All right, we're looking a little rough here. Perks of working from home, I guess. So I just reached the halfway point in, what is this called? The Lost Book of the White. And yeah, we have a couple thoughts. First of all, I'm still feeling the same way about how obvious this is, that it's not written by Cassandra Clare and it's mostly Wesley Chu that wrote this. And I think one of the biggest ways you can notice that is through the humor, or like the lack of humor in this book, because Cassandra Clare is so good at writing funny lines, especially for characters like Jace and Magnus and Simon, who are all in this book together, and we're not getting any funny lines from Jace or from Magnus or from Simon. I think there was only one line from Simon that I liked, but yeah, that's what makes these books just not feel as good, unfortunately. We did get an appearance from Jem, which I was really excited about. I was like, Jem is here to save the day, save this book. He didn't stick around for very long, but I was still happy to see him. I became much more of a Jem fan after Ghost of the Shadowhunter Market, where we got to see him as Brother Zachariah so much. And now I honestly love him, and he's one of my faves in the Shadowhunter world. So I was glad to see him. Makes sense. He's from Shanghai, I'm pretty sure. And I have enjoyed seeing the downworlder lifestyle, I guess, in China. We haven't really seen too much of the Institute, but we did see that in Shanghai there is actually a whole downworlder district, which is different from any other place. They actually have their own like little city or little area in the city that is theirs, and they can be free, and they don't even need like a shadow market. They just have a market because the whole area is for downworlders, which is really nice. And yeah, stuff is really going down now. As I said, halfway, so our characters just went into Dayu, which is a demon realm. So we're basically having one of those stories where our main characters goes to a demon realm, which I'm pretty sure happened in City of Heavenly Fire. And we've seen that, I think, also in the Dark Artifices, where they go to like a different realm. So we'll see how that is. I'm not sure why I didn't realize the Cassandra, Clare, Wesley Chu thing that I mentioned in the first book. I'm thinking it was because we didn't have all the other characters in that book. It was just Magnus and Alec, so it wasn't as hard to notice the difference. But yeah, having our whole crew in this book, I really noticed a difference. Wesley Chu does not have the same writing or voice as Cassandra Clare. Magnus is also annoying me in this book, but I think that's because he's been stabbed by that special sword that I mentioned and it's affecting him. But yeah, he just like refuses to want help and is basically like procrastinating his like stab wounds. Like he doesn't really care about like being healed, and it's really annoying. So in terms of Magnus and Alec, I would definitely say I prefer reading from Alec's point of view, which I wouldn't have thought. Like normally I love Magnus, but clearly I love Cassandra Clare's version of him, not this one. Something not very shocking happened. Their friend that they met in Shanghai, Tian, ended up being in cahoots with our big bad, Samael, the greater demon, which I had been suspecting for a while. They made it kind of obvious that he was being suspicious, and I feel like that's kind of like their move in this series. Like that was the same with Xingyang, how she was like their friend and then she ended up being evil. And then we had Tian kind of have the same thing where he's working with the bad guy. He's not really evil, but he's working for the bad guy. So yeah, I don't know, not really a super shocking reveal. Now Simon and Isabel are separated from them in this demon world, which I'm kind of sad about because I love Simon and Isabel, but I feel like there was just like too many characters for them to like handle, so they had to like come up with a reason for Simon and Isabel to be like gone. That's what I think. So yeah, I'm still feeling like this book is very so-so for me, and I'm kind of just wanting to finish it, not because I'm loving it, but because I just want to like have it over. Alright, here we are. I officially finished the Lost Book of the White, so this will be my final update. I keep hitting this. So last you guys heard, I had said how Tian had betrayed them and I actually got tricked. He actually was just pretending to work for Samael, the demon, and he actually was good. So they actually did trick me with that. I know I was saying, oh, this is so predictable, blah, blah, blah. So they actually did technically trick me. So that's one good thing this book did. The only other thing positive that I really want to discuss is Simon's storyline. So if you guys have read the Shadowhunter Academy, you guys know about Simon's journey becoming a Shadowhunter and how his best friend George Lovelace had not survived the transition to becoming a Shadowhunter, and so we got to see how he is still grieving his friend's death and how he is still kind of struggling adjusting to be a Shadowhunter. So I did appreciate that storyline, even though it was a very minor thing in the book. And that's mostly the stuff that I enjoyed, unfortunately. So one of the annoying things that I found in this book was that there was so much explaining things, explaining the mythology of the demons or of the weapons that they were using, and it all got to be quite confusing and hard to follow. And it was also a lot of information dumping, like them just talking for like paragraphs and paragraphs, and I was just trying to like follow and like understand. So yeah, very like info dumpy. I also felt like the ending got wrapped up a little too easily. Alec just basically stabs himself with the thorn. Whatever whatever with the thorn weapon, and that basically just saves the day. Like, he doesn't die, he doesn't get injured at all. It just saves Magnus for some reason because they had the Alliance rune connecting them. I don't really understand how stabbing himself with the thorn somehow made Magnus no longer have his stab wounds. I don't really see the connection, and even the characters themselves are like, we don't really know how that worked, but it did. I just don't really feel satisfied with that. And I also just felt like it very much felt like a setup for the third book, as the greater demon Samael did not get defeated. He just sort of left. His plan just got sort of ruined, and he's like, see ya. And they're basically like, yeah, he'll probably show up again one day, which obviously will be the third book. And Shinyan also just transformed into this demon, and she flies off. And so that's also hanging in the balance. So it's just like, okay, this is very much like a setup for the third book. The epilogue shows the little demon meeting where all the demons are gonna team up basically for the last book. I'm assuming it's the last book. I'm hoping this is only a 3-book series. It better be. So I was looking at some reviews on Goodreads to see what other people thought, and one really spoke to me, I guess, that I want to mention. Someone was talking about how when this series got announced, the Alec and Magnus trilogy, people were really excited because I guess they promoted it as being very focused on Magnus and Alec and like their day-to-day life, and it being more of a mature series. As we know, like the Shadowhunter books are young adult, and this book majorly feels like young adult, and a lot of people wanted it to be more mature, as Magnus and Alec are older and have more of a mature relationship. And I definitely, once I read that review, I was like, I totally agree with that. I think this series would have been so much better being just about their day-to-day life, like smaller issues going on that they have to solve, like in New York and with the Downwelder Shadowhunter Alliance, and just seeing them raise Max and stuff like that. Instead, they introduced this whole new issue going on with greater demons, which affects the whole world, and it's basically like a whole other series. As I said, you know, it's involving all the other characters as well, and I just feel like that's not what people wanted. And I feel like the idea of just seeing Magnus and Alec having like smaller issues and it being more of a mature book would have been the better way to go. Like, this book felt super YA. Like, even like the intimate scenes with Magnus and Alec was very like, we kissed and ... which I'm not a huge fan of sex scenes anyway. It's not like I wanted like more in detail sex scenes, but that's just one of the things that they could have done. If this was for more of a mature audience, they could have had a little bit more detail with those scenes, just as an example. And I think that's what people would have wanted. And so I don't blame the people who are deciding not to read the Eldest Curses books. I definitely don't enjoy them as much. Like I've said throughout this entire vlog, I still will read the third one to, you know, see what happens. It's also the most future book. It'll involve the most stuff we don't really know about, so gotta read that one. But overall, pretty disappointed with how this series has gone, and I just really look forward to the next book in the Last Hour series that is actually a part of the main Shadowhunter books written by Cassandra Clare. Those are the books that I'm most excited for. This series is just a little bit of a flop for me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've made it to the end here. Let me know if you have decided to read The Lost Book of the White or any of the Eldest Curses books, and what you think about it, how you think it stands up to the rest of the series. I'm gonna assume most people have the same opinion as me, but I don't know, maybe people love it. I think that's gonna be all for this vlog today. I actually finished this book very quickly, but as I said, I don't really think it's because I loved it. It was mostly because I just wanted to finish it and move on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and please subscribe. I reached 40 subscribers, killing it, but I would love more. So subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.